Hello students, myself Dr. Muhammad Ahmed. I welcome you all to the 8th lecture of Mathematics 2. Students, in the previous lecture, we have discussed what is the meaning of eigenvalues and eigenvectors, right? To define eigenvalues, first we have seen, suppose I am having a matrix A, let A be a matrix. For example, consider this matrix to be a 3 by 3 matrix. Then first we have defined what is the meaning of characteristic equation. Right, characteristic equation for this matrix A is given by A minus lambda I, determinant of A minus lambda I equals to 0. This is called as characteristic equation. Now roots of this equation, characteristic equation, are called as eigenvalues. Right, so which are represented by lambda 1, lambda 2 and lambda 3, right? Because it's a 3 by 3 matrix, we will get 3 eigenvalues. And here how we have also seen the formula for finding characteristic equation, which is given by lambda cube minus trace of A into lambda square plus A11 plus A22 plus A33 into lambda minus determinant of A equal to 0. This is the formula that we have seen in last class to find the characteristic equation, right? Once we solve the characteristic equation, we will get the eigenvalues lambda 1, lambda 2 and lambda 3. Now corresponding to each eigenvalue, we can find eigenvectors for the matrix A, which are defined by, they are non-zero vectors x not equals to 0, such that Ax equals to lambda x, right? Any vector which satisfies this equation, Ax equals to lambda x, x is called as, here x is called eigenvector, right? We have seen a few problems related to this, finding how to find the eigenvalues and corresponding eigenvectors for any given matrix, right? Related to this, we have discussed few problems in last class. As I told you in last class that today we will discuss properties of eigenvalues. So few properties we will discuss, then we will go for the next topic, that is Cayley-Hamilton theorem. Before that, we will discuss properties of eigenvalues. We can even skip this topic, but a few times what will happen, the question will come like state and prove any two properties of eigenvalues, right? Question may come in the examination. Previously in the question papers I have seen this question. The question will be like state and prove any two eigenvalues, any two properties of eigenvalues. So you have to write two properties and give the proof also. Here we are going to see 5 to 6 properties. Out of that you have to remember two properties and you can write in the examination if the question comes for 2 marks, right? So suppose I am having, let lambda is the eigenvalue of A, where A is a matrix, right? Lambda is the eigenvalue of A and x is eigenvector of A corresponding to lambda. Then what will happen? We know that Ax equals to lambda x. This equation will be satisfied because x is the eigenvector of A corresponding to the eigenvalue lambda, right? Then this relation will hold. Now we will start seeing the properties. So first property says that k lambda will be the eigenvalue of, k lambda is the eigenvalue of Ka. So now we will prove this. See what does it says, if lambda is the eigenvalue of A and x is the eigenvalue of A corresponding to the eigenvalue lambda, then this first property says that k lambda is the eigenvalue of Ka. So first already we know that we know Ax equals to lambda x. Why I am writing this? Because lambda is the eigenvalue of A and x is the corresponding eigenvector. Then Ax will be always equal to lambda x. Now we can multiply both sides with k. Then what will happen? K into A into x equals to k into lambda into x. Now further this can be written as Ka into x equals to k lambda into x, right? So what we can say? Therefore k lambda is eigenvalue of Ka, right? Why it is? Because if lambda is the eigenvalue of A, then Ax will be equals to lambda x, right? If lambda is the eigenvalue of A, then Ax will be equals to lambda x. Here what is happening? Ka into x is equal to k lambda into x. What is the meaning of this? Then k lambda will be eigenvalue of Ka. If lambda is the eigenvalue of A, then this relation will hold. Then this relation is holding means k lambda is the eigenvalue of Ka. So we have proved the first property. Now we are going for the second property. So second property says that lambda power m is the eigenvalue of A power m. This is the second property. Lambda power m is the eigenvalue of A power m. We'll prove this. We know already that Ax is equal to lambda x. Now multiply both sides with A. Then what will happen? A into Ax equals to A into lambda x. Further this can be written as, when we multiply, so what we'll get? A square into x equals to lambda into Ax, which is equal to what is, see what I am doing here, A I am taking here and lambda I am taking here, then lambda into x. Already from this relation, what is Ax? Ax is given by lambda x. Then what will happen here? Lambda into lambda x, right? So further this will A square into x equals to here lambda square into x. Therefore what we can say? If lambda is the eigenvalue of A, then Ax will be equal to lambda x. Here what is happening? This relation is holding. A square into x equals to lambda square into x. What is the meaning? Lambda square is the eigenvalue of A square. Therefore lambda square is eigenvalue of A square. The same way we can prove that lambda power m is the eigenvalue of A power m. Here we have proved that lambda square is the eigenvalue of A square. Then we can prove lambda cube is the eigenvalue of A cube. Like that we can even prove lambda power m is the eigenvalue of A power m. Second property is also done. Now we will see the third property. So in the examination you will not be asked more than two properties. I have seen a question like state and prove any two properties of eigenvalues. This kind of questions will be asked. Then the third property is lambda minus k is the eigenvalue of A minus ki, right? This is the third property. Now we'll prove this. See, already we know Ax equals to lambda x. Now both sides I will subtract kx. What we have to prove actually? Lambda minus k is the eigenvalue of A minus ki, right? So already we know that lambda is the eigenvalue of A, so Ax equals to lambda x I am writing. Then both sides I will subtract kx. Then what will happen? Ax minus kx equals to lambda x minus kx. Okay, we got Ax minus kx equals to lambda x minus kx, means we have subtracted kx from both sides. Then I will take common here. I will take x common, then A minus ki into x equals to lambda minus k into x, right? You may be getting doubt that why I am adding I here whereas I am not writing anything here. See, x is a matrix, A is a matrix, then A minus k doesn't give any A minus k. If I don't write this I, it will not give me a proper expression, because A is a matrix and k is just a constant. So constant cannot be subtracted from the matrix, only matrices can be subtracted from the matrix, right? So here when I am taking the matrix outside, I have to add this 1. 1 means in matrices 1 is I, but here lambda is a number, k is a number, so x can be taken out because these two are numbers, right? Then what will happen? See, when lambda is the eigenvalue of A, this relation will hold. So this relation is holding means lambda minus k is the eigenvalue of A minus ki. Therefore, what we can say here, lambda minus k is the eigenvalue of A minus ki. Right, this is the third property. Now we'll see the fourth property. See, the fourth property says that if A inverse exists, then lambda inverse is eigenvalue of A inverse, right? Fourth property is if A inverse exists, then lambda inverse is the eigenvalue of A inverse. So already we know, I am going to prove this, we know that Ax equals to lambda x, right? Now multiply both sides with A inverse, then what will happen? A inverse into Ax equals to A inverse into lambda x, right? Now what will happen? This A inverse into A into x equals to lambda into A inverse x. So further, A inverse into A is nothing but I into x equal to lambda into A inverse x. So further, what will happen here? See, x into I is nothing but x only. Here what will remain? A inverse x. I'm starting from the right hand side. A inverse x equals to now you take this lambda this side, you take this lambda this side, then we'll get 1 by lambda into x. So further simplification will give us A inverse x equals to 1 by lambda can be written as lambda inverse into x, right? So from this we can say that lambda inverse is the eigenvalue of A inverse, right? Right, when lambda is the eigenvalue of Ax equals to lambda x. When lambda inverse is the eigenvalue, then A inverse x equals to lambda inverse. If this is holding, the meaning is lambda inverse is the eigenvalue of A inverse, right? This is the fourth property. Then fifth and sixth. So these properties don't need to be proved now, just we'll note down as it is. Fifth property is A and A transpose have same eigenvalues. And the sixth property is also AB and BA have same eigenvalues. So what is the meaning of these two properties? See, fifth property says that A and A transpose. If you consider the matrix A and find the eigenvalues, then you transpose the matrix A to A transpose, then find the eigenvalues. You will get the same eigenvalues for both the matrices. This is the fifth property. Then suppose you are having two matrices A and B. First you multiply two matrices AB, right? AB. Then find the eigenvalues of that. Also you find BA, then find the eigenvalues of that. Eigenvalues will be same. This is the sixth property. Then seventh property says that suppose I am having an expression, let f of A equals to some A naught A power n plus A1 A power n minus 1 plus A2 A power n minus 2 and so on. It goes up to An. Then eigenvalue of f of A. Actually you see that f of A, what is f of A? Here A is a matrix, then A power n will be a matrix, A naught into A power 1 will be a matrix, A power n minus 1 will be a matrix, A1 into A power n minus 1 will be a matrix. Like that, all these are matrices and the sum of this is also a matrix. The meaning is f of A is a matrix, right? Then what will be the eigenvalue of f of A? This property says that if we are having expression in a matrix, then the eigenvalue of that expression, that is eigenvalue of f of A, is given by, then eigenvalue of f of A is given by, just we have to replace A with lambda, right? Where lambda is the eigenvalue of A, no? So for f of a, eigenvalue will be given by f of lambda, which is a naught lambda power n plus a1 lambda power n minus 1 plus a2 lambda power n minus 2 plus so on, I should be there, plus so on an. This will be the eigenvalue of the given expression f of a, right. So, this is quite important. Many times in the examination question will be asked in by using where we have to use this property. So, we'll see this property where we are using in the coming problems, right. So, these are the properties of eigenvalues, right. Now, we are going to see Cayley-Hamilton theorem. So, important topic called Cayley-Hamilton theorem. Right. The statement of this theorem says that, anyways proof is not there in your syllabus. So, statement we need to understand, every square matrix, the statement says that every square matrix A satisfies its own characteristic equation, its own characteristic equation. This is what the statement of Cayley-Hamilton theorem. We need to understand this clearly. What is the meaning of this? Suppose I am having a matrix A, which is, for example, specific example I am considering, let A be a matrix whose order is 3 by 3. Then you find the characteristic equation of this. So, characteristic equation is, for example, suppose you got the characteristic equation to be lambda cube minus some 3 lambda square plus 2 lambda plus 6 equals to 0. For example, you got the characteristic equation to be lambda cube minus 3 lambda square plus 2 lambda plus 6, right, from the matrix A. You got the characteristic equation. Then this theorem says that every square matrix A satisfies its own characteristic equation. What is the meaning of this? Wherever lambda is there in this equation, if you substitute the matrix itself, then again you will get 0. So, A satisfies this characteristic equation. The meaning is, then from CHT, whenever I write CHT, then you have to understand that its full form is Cayley-Hamilton theorem, right. From CHT, it is nothing but A cube minus 3 into A square plus 2 into A plus 6 into I. This, if you evaluate, this will be 0, means square matrix is satisfying its own characteristic equation, right. This is what the meaning of Cayley-Hamilton theorem. Like that, you consider any square matrix and find the characteristic equation, then you verify the left hand side expression, then you will get 0. So, we will see one problem related to this, verification of Cayley-Hamilton theorem. This type of questions will be asked in examination for 2 marks, where the question is something like this, problems. Right. So, first problem is verify CHT, Cayley-Hamilton theorem, for the matrix is given to be A equals to 1, 4, 3, 2. So, these are the entries in the matrix A. Now, we have to verify whether Cayley-Hamilton theorem is true or not, right. We have to verify the Cayley-Hamilton theorem, means we have to find the characteristic equation for this, then substitute the matrix A. We have to check whether we are getting 0 or not. So, first we have to find the characteristic equation. For any given 2 by 2 matrix, we know characteristic equation is lambda square minus trace of lambda. Formula already we have discussed in the last class. Lambda square minus trace of A into lambda plus determinant of A equals to 0. Now, what is trace of A from the given matrix? Trace of A is 1 plus 2 is 3 lambda, 3 into lambda plus determinant of A. What is the determinant here? AD minus BC. Determinant of A is 2 minus 4 3s are 12 equal to 0. Just simplify this, you will get lambda square minus 3 lambda minus 10 equal to 0. This is the required characteristic equation for the matrix A. Now what we have to do, if we want to verify Cayley-Hamilton theorem, we have to show that the matrix A will satisfy this characteristic equation. So now what we'll do, now we have to consider A square minus 3A minus 10I. We have to consider this, and we have to show that we'll get a 0 matrix. In right hand side we have to show that we'll get a 0 matrix, right? A square minus 3A minus 10I equal to, what is A square? Already A is given in the question. We have to find A square from this. A square is nothing but A into A, which is 1432 and 1432. So multiply these two matrices. What we'll get? First row, first column, 1 into 1 is 1, plus 4 into 3 is 12, then 1 into 4 is 4, plus 4 into 2 is 8, then 3 into 1 is 3, plus 2 into 3 is 6, 3 into 4 is 12, then plus 2 into 2 is 4. So simplify this, what we'll get? 13, 12, 9 and 16. So this is A square. Already A square we have calculated, that we have to substitute here. Then we'll get 13, 12, 9 and 16, right? Minus 3 into A. What is A? A is the given matrix itself, 1, 4, 3, 2. Then minus 10 into I. What is I? 1, 0, 0, 1. Now simplify this and check whether we are getting a 0 matrix or not. 13 minus what will happen? Minus 3 into 1. So minus 3 minus 10. Then the second entry will be 12 minus, here 3 into 4 is 12, minus 10 into 0 is 0. Then third entry is 9, minus 3 3s are 9, minus 0. Then here 16, minus 3 2s are 6, minus 10. Now simplify this, what we will get here? 13 minus 3 minus 10 is 0, 12 minus 12 is 0, 9 minus 9 is 0, 16 minus 6 minus 10 is 0. So we got, therefore what we got? A square minus 3A minus 10I equal to 0. Therefore what we can say? Therefore matrix A satisfies its characteristic equation. Therefore what we can say? Therefore Cayley-Hamilton theorem, CHT, is verified. So this is how we verify Cayley-Hamilton theorem, right? Now next one more problem we will see, where we have to use the Cayley-Hamilton theorem. See, in Cayley-Hamilton theorem, 3 types of problems will be there. First one is verification of Cayley-Hamilton theorem. Second one is one matrix will be given and you will be asked to find the matrix represented by some expression. That is the second type of problems. Third type of problems are, we have to find the inverse by using Cayley-Hamilton theorem, right? So second problem we are going to see now. So second problem is, if A equals to, one matrix is given 1, 2, minus 1 and 3, right? Then find its characteristic equation. Also find matrix represented by a power 4 minus a power 4 minus 4a plus, sorry, a power 4 minus 2a cube plus 3a square. We have to find the matrix represented by this, right? In first part we have to find the characteristic equation. So already we know the characteristic equation is, we know the formula, lambda square, because it's a 2 by 2 matrix, lambda square minus trace of A into lambda plus determinant of A equals to 0. Lambda square minus, what is trace of A? 1 plus 3 is 4, minus 4 lambda plus determinant 3 minus of minus is plus into 2 equal to 0. Just simplify this, what we will get? Lambda square minus 4 lambda plus 5 equal to 0. This is the characteristic equation, right? Now from Cayley-Hamilton theorem we know that from CHT, every square matrix satisfies its own characteristic equation. Then what we will get? A square minus 4a plus 5i equal to 0. See, up to this first part of the question is over. What is it? We have to find the characteristic equation. We got the characteristic equation. Now we are going to find the matrix represented by this a power 4 minus 2a cube plus 3a square. See, if we are not going to use the Cayley-Hamilton theorem, what we have to do? We have to find a power 4, means we have to multiply a 4 times, we have to multiply a 3 times, we have to multiply a 2 times, then we will get the matrix represented by a power 4 minus 2a cube plus 3a square. So instead of that, we can follow by using Cayley-Hamilton theorem, we can find this matrix representation very easily. So for that, I am using the Cayley-Hamilton theorem. From Cayley-Hamilton theorem, we can write a square minus 4a plus 5i equals to 0. So from this, what we will get? A square we can get. A square is given by 4a minus 5i. So we got what is a square in terms of a and I, right? Next we need a power. See, we got a square, we need a cube, we need a power 4. So multiply this with a. So what we will get? A cube. What I am doing? I am multiplying this complete thing with a. Then we will get a cube equal to 4a square minus 5. A into I is a only, right? Which is equal to 4 into a square. What is a square? Just now we have computed. A square is 4a minus 5i, right, minus 5a. Just simplify this. What we will get here? Simplify this. 16a minus 20i minus 5a, right. Therefore a cube will be, a cube is equal to, what we will get here? 16a minus 5a means 11a minus 20i, right. We got a cube. The same way, now we need a power 4. For getting a power 4, because here a power 4 is there, for getting a power 4, multiply this complete thing with a. Then what we will get? A power 4 equal to 11a square minus 20a, right, which is equal to 11. What is a square? A square is 4a minus 5i minus 20a, which is equal to, see, 11 into 4 is 44a minus 11 into 5 is 55i minus 20a. Therefore what we will get? A power 4 equal to, see here, 44a minus 20a, we will get 24a minus 55i as it is. So we got what is a square, what is a cube, and what is a power 4. Now we will evaluate the matrix represented by this, right, a power 4. So what is it? What we have to find? Now we have to find a power 4 minus 2a cube plus 3a, which is equal to, what is a power 4? Just now we have computed, it is 24a minus 55i minus 2 into a cube. What is a cube? 11a minus 20i, then plus 3 into a. Sorry, it is a square, here a square is there. So 3 into a square. What is a square? A square is 4a minus 5i, right. Now you observe that everything we got in terms of a and I. So 24a minus 55i, further simplifications will give us minus 22a plus 40i plus 12a minus 15i, right. Now simplify this, 24a minus 22a plus 12a. So we will get 14a, 55i, 40i, 15i. So we will get 30i, 14a minus 30i, which is nothing but 14 into, what is a? A is the matrix given in the question, 1 2 minus 1 3, right, 1 2 minus 1 3 minus 30i. 30i is nothing but 30 0 0 30. Now just simplify this. What we will get? 14 minus 30, 14 to the 28 minus 0 minus 14 minus 0, then 14 3s are 42 minus 30. Just simplify this, what we will get here? This is equal to minus 16, here 28, here minus 14, and here 42 minus 30 is 12. So, this is the matrix, this is minus 16, 28, minus 14 and 12 is the matrix represented by a power 4 minus 2a cube plus 3a square, right. This is how we use the Cayley-Hamilton theorem to find the matrices represented by this complex type of expressions. Even we can consider a power 5, a power 7, a power 8 also. If it is given in the question, then also we can find the matrix represented by that complex expressions by using Cayley-Hamilton theorem, right. Now lastly we will see problems where we will use the Cayley-Hamilton theorem to find the inverse, right. We will see the third problem. Third question is, find A inverse if A equals to 1 0 0 0 2 1 2 0 3 by using Cayley-Hamilton theorem. This is what the question is. We have to use the Cayley-Hamilton theorem to find the A inverse for the given matrix. What is the given matrix here? 1 0 0 0 2 1 2 0 3, right. So for that, first we have to find, so to make use of Cayley-Hamilton theorem, we need to find a characteristic equation, right. Cayley-Hamilton theorem itself says that every square matrix A satisfies its own characteristic equation. So we need to find what is characteristic equation, right. So already we know the formula for finding characteristic equation. When a 3 by 3 matrix is given, it is given by lambda cube minus trace of A into lambda square plus A11 plus A22 plus A33 into lambda minus determinant of A equal to 0, where we have to find trace of A, A11 plus A22 plus A33, also we have to find the determinant. So what is trace of A from the given matrix? Trace of A is 1 plus 2 plus 3, which is 6, right. So then after that we have to find A11 plus A22 plus A33. What is A11? It is the minor of this entry. So remove this row and this column. So what we will get? 3 to the 6 minus 0 into 1 is 0. This is A11 plus A22. A22 is the minor of this entry. Remove this column and this row. So what we will get? 3 into 1 is 3 minus 2 into 0 is 0, right. Then plus A33. A33 is the minor of this element. Remove this one and this one. What you will get? 2 into 1 is 2 minus 0. So simplify this, what we will get? 6 plus 3 plus 2, which is 11. So A11 plus A22 plus A33 is 11, right. So we got this also. Now we need to find the determinant. So determinant of A is equal to 1 into, see, 1 into what we will get? 3 to the 6 minus 0. 6 minus 0, then minus second entry is 0 plus third entry is 0. So determinant is 6, right. Therefore what is the characteristic equation? Therefore characteristic equation is lambda cube minus trace of A is 6 lambda square plus A11 plus A22 plus A33 is 11 into lambda minus determinant of A is 6 equal to 0. So this is the characteristic equation for the matrix A. See, we have to find A inverse. For that we need to use the Cayley-Hamilton theorem. From Cayley-Hamilton theorem, from CHT, what we'll get here? A cube minus 6A square plus 11A minus 6I. This will be equal to 0. Why? Cayley-Hamilton theorem says that every square matrix satisfies its own characteristic equation. That is what I have done here. Now I need A inverse, but here no inverse, A inverse is not there. So multiply this equation with A inverse. Then what we'll get? I'm multiplying the above equation with A inverse. So when we multiply A cube with A inverse, I'll get A square here. Then minus 6A square into A inverse is 6A plus 11 into A inverse is I minus 6 into A inverse into I is A inverse equal to 0. Here what I need? I need A inverse. So 6A inverse equal to, see, 6A inverse I am taking into this side. Then what will remain here? A square minus 6a plus 11i. I need A inverse. Therefore, A inverse will be A inverse equal to, this 6 can be taken into right hand side, 1 by 6 into A square minus 6a plus 11i, right? So here what we have to do? Compute. We got A square, but here A square is in terms of 1 by 6 into A square minus 6a plus 11i. So compute A square and substitute above to get A inverse, right? We can compute A square by using calculator very easily. Just you put that here, A square, then minus 6a is the given matrix, 11i is 11 0 0 0 11 0 0 0 11. Substitute all those things here, then you will get A inverse, right? This is how we solve the problems related to finding A inverse by using Cayley-Hamilton theorem. So this is also one type of questions which will be asked in the examination from Cayley-Hamilton theorem. It will be asked for LAQ question, right? So with this we have completed a Cayley-Hamilton theorem topic. In next class we'll start quadratic forms, right? From that quadratic forms also one SAQ and one LAQ question may be asked, right? I'm going to end today's session here. See you in the next class. Thank you.